Oh my goodness. I did an entire video where my microphone was muted. So I'm going to start again. Hello, welcome. I'm back at my regular computer this time because yesterday it was a little frustrating. I couldn't get it set up quite right. So I want to start over and kind of catch up on a few things that I had mentioned yesterday in my live that I didn't get to uh, explain because the setup wasn't there all of the way. Actually, let me pause this for just a second. I just want to make sure everything is actually working this time. If you could just bear with me one moment. Um, let's see. I know it's a little bit delayed. Okay. Yes. Perfect. Okay, so yesterday I was talking about closing your open loops, that there's a lot of energy that gets drained out because these loops don't close up. So these can be things like you have projects that you need to do, but they feel overwhelming and you'll just kind of like get to them when you get to them. It could be things like you need to have a conversation with somebody, but you fear the outcome or you just feel like I'll have that conversation later. You know that you need to ask your boss for a raise or whatever it may be, right? There's stuff that you need to do, but it all just seems so overwhelming. I'm going to share my screen with you so that I can show you this little drawing. Again, I'm not an artist here, but this is a person, and all these like little colors right here are their values, they're their belief systems, they're their rules, and these were given to this person from the time that they were very young. So almost all of these things this person did not choose consciously on their own. They were just ingrained with them. And even some of them, let's say these belief systems were passed on by their parents. This person says, no, I'm not going to believe that. I'm going to believe this. But instead of actually getting rid of these original belief systems, they just kind of layered some other things on top of it. The red here, these loops, you see that they're open, right? I know I need to have that conversation. I know I need to end that relationship. I know I need to do this course or take this class so that I could get a promotion. But they never kind of get done. They're just kind of always out there, right? This is not only leaking out energy, this kind of stuff is weighing you down actually. It's preventing you from doing a lot of stuff even if you don't feel like it is. It's non-consciously taking up a lot of space. Yesterday I also had mentioned in my video this idea of walking through scare city, right? And you look around, you're seeing all these dilapidated buildings, you're seeing all of this stuff kind of falling apart, and you're when you first get there, you think, okay, a lot of opportunity, I can do all of this stuff to it. But the longer you're there, the more scarcity gets into you, right? And you start thinking, I'm never going to get out of here. I don't have the tools. I don't have the resources. I don't have the knowledge, whatever it may be. This person who's in scarcity may even go sit quietly by themselves and say, I need to get my life together. I need to get out of here. I know I'm meant for more. They might even get a group of people together that they trust, and they all agree, yes, we're going to get out of here, right? But take a look at what's happening here. These open loops are actually allowing not only their internal energy to leak out, but the external things, the external parts of scarcity are getting into this person. So now when this person looks around at the dilapidated buildings, at all the things that need to get fixed, they don't see things that need to get fixed or things that are falling apart. They view themselves as the thing that needs to get fixed. They view themselves as the thing that is the project. It's very difficult to do YouTube videos for everyone. And so, I hope that you'll take this with a grain of salt and perhaps explore the truth that about to say. This is exactly why you are an energetic match for whatever situation you're in. Doesn't matter what it is, because your belief systems have allowed these decisions to come in here. Your non-conscious belief systems have programmed your nervous system to believe that this is the norm now. if you look at here, this person, their half beliefs have turned into half results on the outside. Their not doing anything has turned into, not doing anything, dilapidation on the outside. I did a video a couple weeks ago where I explained exactly why your life is a mirror. This is exactly why you are an energetic match. Your partner is an energetic match to you. And you could consciously think, no, we're not. We're different. Um, they do this and I would never do that. But the way they are treating you is the way that you treat you. Maybe just in a different area. Maybe it doesn't come out as blatant to you because you've gotten used to that level of treating yourself and have grown accustomed to it. Maybe you've also surrounded yourself with other people who are in scarcity who also believe this is just the norm, right? And so we become acquainted and regulated to the things that we're around the most. This is why getting your belief system in order is so important, because if you don't do that, it's going to be very difficult to close these loops. It can feel like, okay, I did that one activity, I did that one course, I had that one conversation, I did those things, but you're not a person through which these things naturally occur. These things can keep happening again and again. You've actually used a lot of that energy to try to just close that one loop, right? And now you're tired and now you're exhausted and you don't want to do anything else, right? It kind of feels like, okay, I did enough with that. So first, I just wanted to kind of, one other thing, actually. I'm going to show you another drawing. I'm going to another beautiful drawing that I did. Same person, okay? Same person, open loops. We've already discussed how these open loops are not only draining their own energy, but are allowing the external environment to get in, right? That's what's happening here. What's up here is all the things that this person desires. So the house, the car, the job, the money, the relationship, the thing with your kids, whatever it is, all your hopes and dreams are up here. You do not have enough energy to get up here because all of your energy internally is getting leaked out and all of the things that you're surrounded by are getting in, right? And so it's keeping you literally tethered in this same space. You'll never have enough energy to get up here where you want to go, your next level. You'll not get up there until these things are addressed. It's not a matter of just closing those loops that you think you're facing. It's because when you get to the next one, and you'll notice that even if you look back on your life, humans are naturally meant to evolve. And so, maybe at first your goal was, I just need to finish college, or I need to do this one thing. And then you did that thing and then you had a new goal, right? This is how life is supposed to go. So even if you're able to close all the loops at the level that you're at, if you aren't a person who just lives from a place of momentum, who lives from a place of solid self-concept, you're going to have this same struggle again and again and again, no matter what level you get to. And I just wanted to be clear, the reason that it feels so out of reach, it feels like you're doing all of the things, it's because it's coming from a place of trying to do all this stuff instead of really focusing and getting rid of some of these old, outdated belief systems. So in the world of personal development, of inner work, we'll talk about your limiting beliefs or, your non-conscious beliefs. Your nervous system, what's really important to understand about that is that your nervous system is attuned. It is exactly on par with what your true non-conscious beliefs say. So if you say with your mouth, I'm wealthy, your nervous system is going to say, that's not true, and wealth feels unsafe. I'm going to keep you away from it. Which is why you could be doing all the things and not having the results. You could be saying, I deserve love, but your body is actually bracing for rejection before you even start a conversation with somebody. This disconnect, these open loops, is the reason why. Because your nervous system has never been part of the equation. Your non-conscious beliefs have never been sorted out before we've gotten to the part of, I'm just going to declare all of these things and say all of these things, and then my body will just follow in line with what I say. And I'm going to come back to that in after this next point that I'm going to make. When I decided to form my Sacred Speech 3-day live event, I really wanted to make this about embodying the things that I'm teaching. So again, I coached this through my intermediate group for about a year and a half now, and we've had really amazing successes because you can change your old programming to train your body to feel safe with what your mouth is saying, right? So when you can actually feel safe in your body, that's when there's no resistance, there's no blockages, and these loops naturally close. They naturally heal themselves. So first I want to talk about a little bit more about self-concept, right? Your identity. These things are energetic agreements that you have made both consciously and non-consciously, but primarily non-consciously, about who you are allowed to be. When I'm working with entrepreneurs who want to increase their monthly revenue, let's say they want to become a six-figure entrepreneur, they want to do six-figure months. If their belief system from whatever they may be earning, let's say they're earning high or mid five-figure months. Their nervous system is attuned to that. Their container is meant to hold that amount right now. They're an energetic match for that. Their loops are closed around 5 figures a month. To expand to 6 figures a month, there absolutely will be unconscious, non-conscious beliefs that need to be uprooted so that they can replace that with the belief system of who they desire to be in this next season. Their nervous system needs to come and reach those new agreements. You have to learn how to renegotiate these agreements with yourself, right? You cannot outspeak a self-concept that you have not embodied. So in other words, you standing in front of the mirror and saying all of the affirmations, declarations, whatever that you want to say, will not change your external environment until you have actually learned to embody those words. And now let me tell you another little myth that I want to bust in this video, which is that your words are powerful. Words are powerful, but are your words powerful? That is dependent upon each individual person. Sometimes your sacred speech means that you need to be comfortable in silence. It means not speaking at all. We have a very flawed view of words. We think that speaking is power, but over talking is often proof that you don't believe what you just said. And it's also a way to self-soothe your nervous system because you're pushing against something that has a lot of resistance to it. Silence is also sacred when it's sourced from certainty. When you are sure about who you are and what you're saying and what you're asking for, your nervous system will also be able to contain the silence. You won't need to over-convince, over-explain, or over-perform. Oftentimes when people are over-talking, they're repeating themselves over and over. It's an opportunity to kind of drown out their own nervous system. They want to say some things because the silence feels way too uncomfortable for their physical bodies. So times when you'll absolutely need to be able to hold silence when you've stated something that you're asking for. So like if you've asked your boss for a raise, or if you've asserted a boundary that you want to have respected, or during a negotiation of any kind, being able to hold the silence in your body is an absolute, just as much, if not more important than being able to say the words that you actually mean during that communication. Silence, true silence, is the sound of somebody whose nervous system isn't panicking when they declare something. There's a saying that says silence is the womb of sound, and I really like that. So if you can't hold silence when you sit quietly, the things that come up when you're sitting quietly are the tensions that your body has been holding on to, and they're always, 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 always tethered to non-conscious beliefs. This is why it's not healthy. Actually, I'll just do an exercise with everybody, or you can do an exercise with yourself. I want you to just list out several areas of your life. I do this with my clients when I know the issue is a non-conscious belief. It's not because they're not doing something. It's not because they don't have knowledge on how to do something. It's because they are the block, right? They are the thing that is not allowing themselves to move on to the next thing. I'll just list out things. So If you have children, your children, if you're married, your spouse, your job, career, business, whatever it is, your finances, your spirituality, your relationship with the people around you, your social structure. When you list out things, and if you feel a charge, or your identity, even just your own self-concept, if you feel a charge when those things are brought up, like, I don't want to address that. A lot of people will have resistance to addressing their relationship to God. A lot of people also have resistance in their own identity. Saying that you're not sure of your identity really triggers people, right? You'll feel a charge. You'll feel like, no, that's not it. You'll want to just shut that door and not pursue that conversation anymore. That's the thing. That is the thing that is keeping you stuck. That's the thing that needs to get looked at deeper in order to bring to the surface, first of all, your non-conscious beliefs, and also rewire your nervous system to accept your new and true beliefs. Another thing that I want to talk about is momentum. And a lot of people believe that action is what creates momentum, but that's not true. Clean, uninterrupted, closed loop energy is what creates momentum. A lot of people are doing, and getting so exhausted in their bodies, and then they're still not moving forward because they are acting from contradiction. So their speech is saying, go, 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 do, get, but their energy is saying, you need to earn it. You need to prove it. You need to do better, more, faster, quicker, bigger. That's what their energy is saying. And so that your non-conscious belief systems will have you literally working yourself into sickness if you are trying to earn, prove, or in any other way contradict your nervous system, which is, again, always tied to your non-conscious belief system. So again, action is not what creates momentum. Your clean, uninterrupted, closed loop energy is what creates momentum. Your energy aligned action is what will create momentum. There is a big difference between action that exhausts you and action that multiplies you. And when you are in true alignment and you speak with your true alignment, your energy is actually what lifts your action. You won't need to push, you'll be carried up there. Again, I want to just show you that little picture that I drew of this guy who has these open loops. If these open loops are the things that are tethering him to his current life, to his current circumstances, again, it's what's making him an energetic match for his current circumstances, his current relationships, his current financial standing, his current business and business expansion, and so forth. It's what these open loops are keeping him there. The second this guy cleans up his belief system and rewires his nervous system, recodes his nervous system to accepting his new beliefs, he will just be naturally carried up to this area where all of his dreams at this current stage in life are, and where they can all be fulfilled. This is how it works. You won't be carried up there unless you are in true alignment, unless you are in perfect harmony with yourself. One other thing that I wanted to talk about in this video is the difference between scripting and coding. There's a lot of people talking about, make a script of what you desire your day to be like, your ideal day to be like, your dream day, right? And this can be a very helpful exercise for people who just can't really get a clear vision, a clear picture on what they want their ideal life to be. When they can't really get a sense of what it would like to be like to be fulfilled. And typically when people are coming out of very traumatic situations, it can be very difficult to even dream of anything besides just having basic level security, right? A house, food, stable finances, whatever. Those people, this would be a great exercise to start helping the momentum go in your dream life, right? But there's a big difference between scripting and coding. This is like I naturally have brown hair. This is like saying to my body, you're going to make blonde hair, you're going to make blonde hair, you're going to make blonde hair. And then doing actions to get me blonde hair, but having to keep repeating the action, right? I have to keep going to the salon. I have to keep putting stuff on my hair to make it blonde. Versus if I actually could go into my genetics and edit them so that it would make blonde hair, now I've actually coded. This is what I'm talking about with your belief system. You can spend all of your energy, all of your time, all of your efforts trying to just get these end results, or you could just go to the source and learn how to actually speak your body's language, your nervous system's language. If you cannot embody things somatically, and feel that in your body, you will not have the capacity to bring up old beliefs that need to get sifted out. When I start working with people one-on-one, especially if people have not been doing inner work, or it's been a long time since they've done inner work, can feel very uncomfortable because it's like so many things are coming to the surface, right? I compare this to like being a child at the beach, when you like had that toy that like sifted out the sand, and you could have like a pile of very fine sand, a kind of rougher sand, and then stuff like that doesn't go in the sand, like sticks and rocks and things like that. You have these very distinct piles. Well, the more that you do the fine soil again and again and again, you sift the sand again, you sift it again, you sift it again. It gets easier and easier and easier, right? And the issues that come up, the beliefs that come up are smaller and smaller and smaller. They're much easier to deal with, which is why it's easy to close the loop on the next level. And it gets easier the next level, and easier and easier and easier and faster as well. This is why, again, yesterday in my video, I was talking about people who just seem to be doing all of the things, and it also seems to be coming effortless. It's because they've learned to generate intrinsic energy. There's a difference between using borrowed energy, which is how most people try to get through their day. If things are good, right? If they look around and they like what they see, if nobody bothered them at work, if their kids didn't misbehave and went to bed easily, if their spouse, did the things they said they were going to do, if everything's good, then this person is feeling accomplished. This person is feeling like, okay, I can get through the day and I can get to the next day. But they don't know how to generate intrinsic energy, meaning no matter what's happening outside of me, I know who I am and I can change my environment because my loops are closed. Even if I like everything that I see, this is all amazing things that I see, I just desire to have more. I desire to have bigger. I desire to experience it in another way, in another level. I'm able to do that because I know how to generate my own intrinsic energy. This is what happens when you actually learn to speak your body's language and really start getting to the root of your non-conscious belief systems. And you don't just pile things on top of your non-conscious belief systems. You actually root out the ones that you don't like. You don't just say, oh yeah, my parents believe that, but I don't believe that. I just put something else on top of it. If that thing isn't actually expelled out of your belief system, it will come up. And that's why a lot of these loops end up not getting closed, even though consciously you're saying, I don't believe that. I got rid of that belief. If it actually hasn't processed through your body somatically, then you haven't gotten rid of that belief. And it's one of the things that's keeping you kind of stuck in this pattern of doing, not getting frustrated, kind of trying to lessen your goal and trying to hit that. But that doesn't seem so satisfying, even if you are able to close it. One of the reasons that I really stress being a person of momentum instead of just doing things that seem to cause momentum is so that you, at the next level, you can actually close the loop faster, quicker, better. And you can keep doing it every single evolution that you have as a person. So when you're able to actually recode your nervous system, you believe that your beliefs are true. You fully embody your beliefs. You will have, so you'll know that this is true when your words are supported by evidence, they are supported by emotional safety, and you have seen your body move into agreement. When you have learned how to stay regulated, when good things happen, when negative things, perceived negative things are happening, these you can start to close the gap between what you're saying, your script, and your actual self. That's what sacred speech is all about. It's bringing these things into harmony and alignment so that you actually have the tools to do this again and again. So this is your invitation that if your mouth and your body are telling different stories, this course is designed for you. Again, I took all of the information and all the lessons learned over the past year and a half with my intermediate group and called Expansion, and I've distilled it down into these 3 days. It's a live event, but you're going to have the replays are always going to be available. You'll have lifetime access to it. It's only $44 on pre-sale. I wanted to give everybody who hasn't had an opportunity to work with me an opportunity, and also just give people the tools in order to actually transform themselves. Stop yelling at the reflection in the mirror and learn that once you change, your mirror changes, right? We don't make the reflection try to smile, we smile. It's just learning some tools that can really help you unearth these beliefs and bring harmony to who you say you are and who you actually are. The link is in the description of this video if you want to join, and it's also on my website. I really desire for all of my audience to become somebody who speaks and has things shift, not because you're performing, but because you are so rooted in your identity, in your self-concept, and your nervous system matches what you are saying. And so I hope to see you all inside Sacred Speech. Again, it begins August 15th. It's August 15th, 18th, and 19th. And if you joined yesterday, for everybody who joined yesterday, you can actually log into the portal now. There's some activities and different things for you to get started on right now if you desire to do that. And so until next time, I will see you guys. I hope you have a great weekend.